So, our first 8 drivers then. Please welcome from Reno, Nevada, it's Dean Helt. Race 1 for the semi-finals for Porsche eSports Challenge USA. It is Laguna Seca, of course, the home of the Porsche Rennsport Reunion 7 event here this weekend. We're in the Porsche 95987, the Rothmans livery on all of the cars, sports medium tyres. The grid is set by qualifying, which took place here yesterday. In terms of qualifying yesterday, Dean Helt starts at the back of the grid here for this race, but his pace was really good, except for the fact that on his only flying lap, he ended up going a little bit wide, exceeded track limits, was given a penalty, so he's got to fight his way through from 8th on the grid.
And one of the strongest drivers in our 2022 Porsche eSports Challenge USA. And that means that in this first race, we need him to, he'll be hoping to work on forward and potentially get into the podium spots and accumulate points that carry forward to tomorrow's final.
And then Dean Helt, difficult qualifying for him, lines up at the back of the grid. Let's see what progress he's going to make as we wait for the 5 red lights to come on. Racing action about to begin. Group A semi-final 1. Lights out and we're underway. Good start from Hayward. He immediately moves over on Kevin Pounder and tries to chop his nose off down towards the first corner. Keep an eye out for Payson May coming along the outside then, as well as Lim Snookin. He's going to try and pick the pockets of Kevin Pounder as they head in towards the braking zone of turn 2. Who's that looking to the inside? It might be Dean Helt making progress as they come through. So it's Hayward that leads the way. Payson May trying to hold it the long way around the outside on Kevin Pounder. Lim Snookin meanwhile is side by side with Helt, who's gone from 8th to 5th in the space of a couple of corners. Payson May and Kevin Pounder, or Lim Snookin there now coming in the middle of this gaggle as they go through into the right-hander. Who's going to emerge on top of this one? They're going to be almost 3 wide as they come down in towards the braking zone of turn 11. Pounder on the inside, Lim Snookin in the middle, Helt on the outside. They're not going to make it there without a smattering of body contact. Helt looks to try and hold it around the outside. He goes off onto the green on the outside of the circuit, but does manage to get the position side of Kevin Pounder. Going to try and get the switch back on the inside out of turn 6. That's going to be an inspired bit of driving if he can hold it up the hill in towards the corkscrew 2x2 into here. Certainly doesn't go. Who's going to be last at the lane breakers? Helt on the inside. Pounder trying to hold it around the outside. Surely they're not going to go side by side. They do. Pounder's off the track. He loses ground. Lim Snookin has to get out of the throttle as well, but Helt is up into 3rd.
Sometimes you don't need to drive defensive to hold on at tracks where it's difficult to pass. Peyton May feels the pressure off into the gravel, and Dean Helt goes from 8th to 2nd, 4 seconds off the lead, but does exactly what he wanted to do in this first race of the semi-final.
He is. Hayward, though, comes through the final corner. He takes the win in semi-final 1 here for Group A of the Porsche eSports Challenge USA. Lights the flag victory for him. Dean Helt from the back of the field up into 2nd position at the end.
Yeah, well, thankfully I was able to make a pretty good start there. I got myself up to P5 or P6 there. Had a good little tussle there with Tyler there on the first lap, and then just made a little bit of a mistake the last corner, made sure I gave the spot back, and then thankfully was able to kind of pick off each driver one by one, and yeah, feeling very happy that I was able to recover after that qualifying effort.
Cayman GT4 Club Sport machine. This is a track-focused car that was released by Porsche when the 981 Cayman GT4 came out. The grid order, of course, is decided by the race results from race 1. 6 laps here, but interestingly, a rolling start. And, of course, that first corner, very, very tight right-hander here, Arjuna. So it makes a bit more sense just to spread the field out a little bit more. 2, and it's Randall Hayward, of course, the victor from race 1, who lines up on pole position alongside him on the front row. You'll have Dean Helt. It's Helt versus Hayward for the race lead, and Helt has taken over at the sharp end, but Hayward has immediately repaid the favour as we see Pounder versus Roland Part 2 down the back straight into the bus stop. Who's going to get the lead away from the race? Helt is just able to hold it ahead of Hayward for the race lead, and Pounder ahead of Roland as well.
Around the outside of the inner loop, that's audacious from Dean Helt. The impetus was there in race number 1, and now leading with Randall Hayward on the outside. Dean Helt is not here to mess around.
No, he's looking pretty racy. Dean Helt is going to come through the final corner and across the line to win semi-final 2 for Group A here ahead of Randall Hayward and Roland in 3rd place. Vandel finishes in 4th position ahead of Pounder, Niederstadt, May and Lim Snookin. Anyway, let's head down to Arjuna. Which of our drivers are you catching up with there, Arjuna?
We got Dean Helt, who we've already talked to once. So let's talk about that move around the outside of the bus stop. That doesn't really happen often.
No, it doesn't happen if you're not racing against somebody that's as great as Randy is. I mean, we have such a great amount of respect for one another, and I mean, he was doing a really good job trying to break the slip, really making it difficult, and kept it super clean. And thankfully, I timed it right to where I got my nose ahead, and I knew he was just, you know, I knew I could rely on him to get me in the room. And when you're racing with people that you can trust, it makes it a hell of a lot easier.
Next up in this Post eSports arena, the Porsche Vision GT at Road Atlanta. What should we expect with 700 plus horsepower and tire wear, I think, being a major factor?
Yeah, tire wear is definitely going to be a big factor in the race, especially towards the end. If you can manage it, as there's a car going by, if you can manage it well in the early stages, you'll have a big advantage at the end. So definitely got to be smart with the pace. Can't run away too much, but let's see what happens.
Plenty of respect between Randall Hayward and Dean Helt.
So this is the third race of Group A semi-finals, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta semi-finals. So Dean Helt lines up on pole position in the Porsche Vision Gran Turismo. Lights out and we're underway. Good start from Dean Helt. Hayward gets away pretty well as well. Keep an eye out though for Roland in the background. He's being swamped by the likes of Vandel and Kevin Pounder. Down towards the first corner. Pounder's looking to his inside. Peyton May. Also on the inside of Lims Newton. Helt versus Hayward as well, side by side as we come over the rise and in towards these S-Bends. Helt manages to hold on to the advantage and hold on to first place for now. Just separated by a tenth of a second on track as Helt goes a little bit deep there into the chicane. Oh, there's contact there as well as Hayward's now trying to pick his pocket coming through the final series of corners down the right as we go. Hayward to the inside and into the race lead. Audacious driving there from Randall Hayward. He won the first race of the evening here in Group A and he comes through the final corner to win semi-final 3. It's Randall Hayward on top ahead of Dean Helt here at Road Atlanta. Hayward then will qualify on top of the order in Group A ahead of Dean Helt. Then Roland in third place. Vandel, the last of the drivers who makes it through. Sadly, we will say goodbye to Kevin Pounder, Peyton May, Zach Niedersat and Lims Newton as well. Disappointing for their race, their weekends to end quite so soon, but nonetheless, really impressive performances from all of our drivers here. Let's have a look, shall we, at the details for the first race. We're going to be in the Porsche Line 11 RSR at Spa-Francorchamps. This is a legendary circuit. If you know motor racing, even if you don't know motor racing, I'm sure you've probably heard of Spa in one form or another. 9 laps, the grid is set by the order in the championship as we saw. But interestingly, for the first time this weekend in the finals, tyre strategy coming into play. Then you've got Dean Helt. Keep an eye out for him. Fast charging man yesterday on the second row of the grid. It's lights out and we're racing here. Randall Hayward gets the field underway. Robbie Heck immediately darts into the slipstream, followed by Donovan Parker, and then Dean Helt down towards the first corner. Is anybody going to make a move? Keep an eye out in second place. Donovan Parker's having some action on the inside there. Courtesy of Dean Helt. Robbie Heck on the outside, and Parker then side by side as they come on the run up towards O'Rouge and Radion. But a clean stop on Hudson.
Car's covering the inside. Who's going to be brave around the outside?
Yeah, it's all about who can. Oh, look at that! Contact Dean Helt. Wow, and the race lead changes as well. Danny Solis involved in some drama. We've got to see a replay of that. It all kicked off. It's only the opening lap. The upshot is it's Robbie Hay that leads the way. Dean Helt's Meyer down in 5th place. Randall Hayward's gone from 1st to 7th. There's contact there as Parker into the back of Danny Solis and biffs him out of the way. Down the hill in towards turn 8. It's all kicking off here. It is only the opening lap of the first race. Solis then down towards the first corner. Here comes Dean Helt for a dive on Roland at the source. Can he make that stick? He's side by side with him. Bit and squirrely on the exit there, but Dean Helt manages to hold firm on the inside. One of these drivers is going to have to give way because you can't go 2 by 2 up the road Rouge and Radion unless you're very brave. Roland on the inside, Helt on the outside. Helt manages to get the position and is up into 4th place.
Very smart there from Roland to tuck into line before Randall Hayward able to carry that momentum. Look how much speed our defending champion has lost as we run our way up the Kemmel for the second time of asking. And you can see some frustration on the face of Randall Hayward right now. Cyrus Cross, red dot next to his name, has a slowdown penalty to serve as Dean Helt overcommits.
Yeah, he's off onto the rumble strips on the runoff on the outside of the circuit. Comes back on just in front of Randall Hayward, who in turn has to get out of the throttle. Big slide there from Helt out of turn 7. And a penalty for Danny Solis for causing that collision, presumably on the first lap there as well. Dean Helt also picking up a penalty. Try and then run a faster lap when you're hopefully in clear air, and then you can try and get the undercut when they make their pit stop, in theory, next time around. Further back is where the action is ongoing, and Roland, Cross, Helt, Vandel all really close here. And look at this, Dean Helt looking to the inside of Cyrus Cross. Is he going to get that stop? He is, and just about manages to make the apex of the left-hander as well. So that was a nice dive to the inside there for Dean Helt. Cyrus Cross moves it down to 7. So let's have a look then, shall we, at the 9-point standings in just a couple of moments' time. There we are on your screen. Robbie Heck would have a nice 4-point buffer. Oh, as Dean Helt runs it a bit deep there. Roland looking to his outside. Is he going to hold it around the bus stop there? He's off the track. He's going to struggle with traction there. Cyrus Cross seizes the opportunity to get involved in the party as well. Cross now ahead of Roland. So Roland goes from attacking to losing places. Here at Spa-Francorchamps is Robbie Heck on top in Belgium ahead of Donovan Parker and Randall Hayward, who was mired down in the pack, if you remember, in the opening stages of the race following the incident on the first lap. And he manages to recover to 3rd place at the checkered flag ahead of Danny Solis. Dean Helt ahead of Cyrus Cross, and then Roland and Vandel completing the 8-driver strong field. Let's have a look at the live point standings, which should hopefully have the correct tallies. So then, double points for the final race, if that makes sense, coming up in just a few moments' time. Let's have a look, shall we, at the race details, though, for the second one of the evening, the final one of the evening here as well. We're in the Porsche 917K from 1970 in the Salzburg delivery, the car that won Le Mans back in the day, giving Porsche their first overall victory. Row 3 is Dean Helt in 5th position. Ahead of him, just behind him rather, I should say, is Cyrus Crossing now, and Helt is all over the back of Parker. Then he's going to have a look to the inside into the hairpin. Well, he's certainly close enough. He's tipping a wheel, but it's not quite there. Parker, though, is a little bit wide, and that allows an opportunity for Helt to go through and into 3rd place. 2 by 2 they run on the exit. They're going to flick it through into a left-handed kick for now. Helt has got the overspeed and has got 3rd place. Oh, what a shame. Look at this, we're 3 wide down the start-finish straight here as well. This is going to be absolutely amazing as we come across the line. Hayward on the inside, Helt to the top of the course. Down in towards the first corner we go. Parker's on the inside as well. They run nose to tail through the first corner. The upshot is it's Hayward from Parker from Helt. We would hope that those soft tyres get worn out for the drivers behind.
Hayward just punched in a purple Sector 1, almost a full second faster than Heck. Behind the defending champion, they battle for 3rd. Helt scampers past Parker once more. The gap between 1st and 2nd is down under 2 seconds though.
Yeah, it's going to be down to under a second on this time. Here comes Helt looking to the outside of Randall Hayward as we come across the timing line to begin lap 13. Helt easy, like candy from a baby, down towards the first corner. He's through and into 2nd place. Does he get the car stopped? Oh, a little bit of a wobble on the entry to the corner, but just about manages to slow it down. And indeed, the lead of this race is going to change hands, but Hayward's not ready to give this one up. Oh, there's contact on the banking. No, surely not. Helt's on. He's off to the infield. Huge drama here. Dean Helt with contact of Randall Hayward, and now it's Hayward challenging for the lead.
And Dean Helt finished 3rd in our 2022 Porsche eSports Challenge USA. He'll be very frustrated to have not been able to return to the podium after what had been such a strong fight back after a disappointing qualifying. But up towards the front, it's the blast towards the line.
Across the line to become the Porsche eSports Championship Challenge winner of 2023, ahead of Donovan Parker and Robbie Heck in 3rd place. It's 2 titles in 2 years for Randall Hayward as he claims the championship here at Laguna Seca in California.
And instantly going over, celebrating with the rest of the team, going over to Dean Helt and apologizing for the moment. There is so much camaraderie between all of these competitors, and it's great to see as they now celebrate the 2023 King, Randall Hayward.
Now, here are the final point standings. You can see Robbie Hayward wins the title by 4 points over Robbie Heck in 2nd position. He'll be sick as a parrot after that one. Ahead of Donovan Parker, Dean Helt in 4th position, Armando Roland, Danny Solis, Cyrus Cross, and Dennis Van Dale completing the point standings.
Talk us through the moment on the banking.
Yeah, you know, the 3 of us, Devin, Cooper, and I, or Devin, Randy, and I, we all did a really good job working together, making sure that we could stick together. And we knew with Robbie making that mistake early on, we would have an opportunity to get him later on. So we played nice, and Robbie moved up the track. I took the bait to go get him, and then we got side by side. And unfortunately, it was a 1,000 IQ move because I came back down and just wasn't quite clear. I tried to save it. Obviously, did a cool little drift, which maybe I'll look back fondly on, but. Congratulations to Randy. He absolutely earned this. He was stout the whole way through, and needless to say, I'm a little disappointed, but it is what it is.
How much fun was it to be here at Rennsport Reunion? Sports Car Together Fest was a lot of fun, but so many classic Porsches here today. I
mean, this definitely topped all the races from last, or the race that we did last year. It's been phenomenal. Porsche's treated us like royalty. Obviously, we got a lot of big Porsche people here that are here supporting us, and it's good to see that eSports is alive and well.
Alive and well indeed. Dean Helt, unfortunately, not on the podium, but another fine run in 2023.